Right everyone, so good morning. This video is my attempt to swap a screen on a Surface Laptop 3. I started taking the little things off, so I apologise I can't show you what I've done here. If you can see the little notches there at the rear, you'll notice that facing up away from the laptop there's a notch there and a notch there. You basically pop your little tweezer in and just lift it up from there, lift it up from there. And then the front ones, they're three-pronged, so they're not as straightforward. But what I found was if you just go in at any of the angles and then lift them up, they come up fairly easy. Let's keep the laptop this way around. And then I remembered I was going to record this, so I just started the video now. So let's see what tools we need. I'm assuming that's going to be a T3 screwdriver, or T2, T4 or T3. So let's have a look. Let's try with the one we always use. Too small. Feels like we have to go straight to T5. Yeah, T5 is perfect. At least I hope that's T5, because I don't know about you, but my bits sometimes get a bit mixed up. So I know it's not the smallest. Using my trusty Lenovo as a holding place. So unscrew the 4 screws underneath. I am going to upgrade the storage on this, but first things first, I picked up a Surface Laptop 3 that didn't boot, and it still doesn't boot. I was kind of hoping I could fix it, but such is life, you don't win them all. And so I've got this little guy here. I'm being a little bit more cautious because the screen has smashed quite significantly on this. And it still works, so it's a good little screen still if you can find a way of using it with all that glass falling off. But I think we all know the answer to that. That's not really something we want to be doing. So the first job for me is to get the screen off. So in order to take the keyboard off, the Surface Laptop 3s have a great new magnetic feature where you can slide your pick in or whatever tool you want to use, and the keyboard lifts. I'm hoping on the inside I haven't got to remove too many panels as well. There you go. We're in. And we go around and you hear like nice little popping noises as the magnets pop open. It's just bliss, that is. I mean, given the horribleness that you have with the other laptops, being able to just run a magnet around that, or run a whatever this thing is, just a pick around it just to release the magnets, that's just bliss. So this is another one of those cases where there's probably better videos out there with better equipment that have shown this, but great. I'm really trying to keep an eye on the glass because it's shards of glass and the Alcantara will scratch. I think it's just a bit more, just a bit of force, but there you go. So that's the screen up, and inside, let me just make sure I can show you this. So inside, you have a little thing here to lift up, to take off, and that's the keyboard safely out of the way. It's also magnetic as well, so one keyboard. Say goodbye. Let's put it with my trusty Lenovo, just to show that it's not all about the Microsoft experience. And then you can see that there's 128 gig of storage in there. More importantly, what we're looking to do is take the hinge off here, hinge off here, hinge off here, hinge, screw off here, screw off here, screw off here, and then by the look of it, these two panels off to expose the connectors, pop it off, and all is good. And those of you that have got newer, older Surfaces like myself, the Surface laptops, and love them to bits, there's a nice couple of upgrades on here. You notice the Wi-Fi. I'm struggling to breathe today. Because I'm running around like a fool. I just remember to do this video, so I'm going to just crack on with a few too many M's. I don't see an easy way of doing this, so I'm just going to try and prise these up again like I normally do. Now you've got to be really careful with these ones. I did this on a different surface that I did. So I don't really want to move the screen too much because of the glass. But if you look at any of the housing when you open yours up, it might look like you can just go like that and prise it up, but it's actually a metal frame on the board. So if you try and prise the whole thing up, you're pulling the metal, you're pulling the metal up and not just the protective film. Right, so I'm going to open this screen up as far as it can go. Oh, I don't know if you heard that crunch. The beautiful sound of glass being destroyed. Just in two minds whether or not to put some protectiveness over. So it does look like, yeah, the whole antenna array also pops out, so in the future if you have problems with your wireless, that looks like that's nice and easy to service as well. So I'm opting to use my fingers to avoid trying to do too much damage and just to prise up these tiny little connections. Oh, I know I'm freaking out. I've got a big fat jumper on and it's too hot to work with this. Oh, it's loads better. Right. I'm going to see what I can grab with my finger. If I can get two up, I can drive something underneath them. And this, the plan with this is this will replace my Surface Book, my Surface Laptop 2, which would be nice because the challenge I have with that is, so I used to think I needed loads of memory, but I bought a server and that's got rid of that requirement now, and I host my big machines virtually. But I still suffer with disk space, which I probably could host a file and print server as well, but I was just thinking for a server that's a waste of expensive resource, given that I tend to put SSDs in them. So with this one, I've got a nice easy upgrade path. So that's panel 1 off. Fiddly, but the good thing is I can pop off, by the look of it, the panels and then see if it comes out nicer when it's unscrewed. So same again this side. Oh, I can't tell you how much easier it is to work without the heat. I might just use a pair of tweezers just to slightly nudge up these. Now I'm a bit nervous because I can't remember if I put this on standby or if I shut it down properly. There's one done. Let's get the second one done. I do wish the Surfaces had the ability to upgrade the memory on them as well. Who knows though, with that new act that's being passed by the EU, having part, oh no, mind you, that's just going to be parts. You know, actually, there may be talking and not enough fixing. Let's just lift that one up. With this EU Act, that you might see Microsoft are forced to actually fix some of their other computers as well, like that trusty Surface Laptop 2. I mean, cracking piece of kit when the SSD goes, not so cracking piece of kit. Okay, so notice that came up on this one. It's like a comfort, I think it's a magnetic strip or it's a comfort strip of some sort for the keyboard to rest on. So I'm going to take these up as gently as I can. Just make sure that they're not screwed in somewhere. As I said, this is the first one I've done, so I will pop off the screen connectors there because then we know that's one less job to do. I'll try and pop off the screen connectors. They are really quite tight. One off. Yeah, you're doing this one live with me at the same time, so I just call for fun, do this. So let's just use a little tweezer edge just to help you up. Number 2 up. Number 3 up. Don't like using metal too close to the board, so I'm going to go back to plastic. Another 4 up. Take the screen off and hopefully to massage themselves back together again. So 2 screws, big screw, 2 screws, 3 screws. I think this is the only one that has the big screw on it. Ooh. And this looks like it's moving up the T numbers. So let's try T6 on these. Oh, it's like it was made for it. Probably should have got a little screwdriver. So 1. I tend to do 2 either side. Ouch. That wasn't a shard of glass there. 2 either side. And when we get this screen off, we'll hopefully be able to see this a lot better. Now the thing is, I bought the other device off eBay, so I am a little bit nervous that the screen isn't actually a functioning screen, because the system doesn't function, and if it's being water damaged, then there may be more damage that I haven't been able to see. So then I'm going to take the one off here, but I'm going to keep my finger on the hinge and take that screw out there. I believe they're all the same screw, but it's this one that's different. So let's just keep hold of the screen at the back as well. Support the screen at the back with your hand. And it doesn't look like they're different on this one. It just looks like it's a different footing. I'm going to leave that one slightly different though, just in case it's a millimetre or 2 out. And as I take the screen up, which is literally just that, I'm hoping now that I haven't got to take anything else off, so touch a piece of glass that isn't broken. So I think you may have to take the antenna bar off just to get to the actual connectors. I mean, I don't really care about this screen, but at the same time I don't want to as he politens his English a little bit. I don't want to mess up these, and I think they just come out. I think I'm just being a bit too sensitive on them. That one's out. Yeah, it seemed a bit extreme trying to have to take theirs off as well. As I said first time, it's probably the pins that are up that are causing it to get caught under. So just give them a good massage, but bring them down straight, because you're going to come along the cables that sit at the back of them. Come on, that was even worse. Yeah, probably in hindsight, I probably would have took the antenna bar. On the other one, we'll just take the antenna bar off, because it'll be a bit easier. I was just trying to do a quick video for this. The antenna array does look quite simple. Come on. 1-0 to the heat shield. 2-0 to the heat shield. That one dug right in. Probably, and the good thing about doing these together is, those of you that have done them already, you can comment and laugh at me. Those that haven't, we can learn together. So I'm going to try and let the screen go. Just make sure that is actually free. The screen actually doesn't feel like it's free. Might be a second or third screw on there. Okay, so I'm going to try and put the screen down like that. Maximum the mouse. I'm going to use 2 hands to try and prise this thing out now. And screen comes free from there, but the screen is still a little bit stuck over here. There you go, screen off. 1 smashed screen. Oh, and 1 broken heat shield. I'm just going to pause the screen. Hold on a second while I got the next one out. What's up, honey?
Have you paid the other lady?
No.
No?
Did she come in today?
Yeah.
There's plenty of cash. Just go into my wallet and take a tenner out. I just don't want that Harry versus thingy hassle again. I'm not too sure if you caught what we did there, but I just slid these heat shields out. I keep calling them heat shields, right? Whatever they're properly called. I would say don't bother putting them back on again, but I like the fact that it's got the protective foam on it. I just seem to have lost 2 of the strips somewhere during the install, but we will find them. I just hope that they're not hiding away. Right, so this, because the glass was broken, I just put my finger down here and see if there's any shards. Probably not the best way of doing it, but it's the only way that I'm doing today. Okay, here's something loose. That's going to be you. There's definitely one of those missing, and I don't seem to be able to see where it went. I can't see it inside the case. The good thing is on my donor one I'll have all of those parts. I just didn't really want something lying around and rattling around inside the computer. So the donor is going to be the reverse of the job. And I can donkey put my stuff on top of that. So I'm just going to get the donor into a good position to get the screen out. Now with this donor, because it's the working screen, I'm going to be a bit more careful. Just make sure we're still recording. 2360. So all I'm doing is everything that you saw me do already on the other one. Just put the screen up. Now this one I've already had open and examined and tried my best to get the thing to work. So it becomes spares and repairs. Hopefully the keyboard's still not connected. Okay, so I'm looking at this little guy here. So it doesn't look like. Yeah, it looks like whoever's had this one before has gone to town on some of the components. Come on, keyboard, up you come. I'm just comparing the 2 units now. Okay, so that's this keyboard out. I mean, I might see about leaving this keyboard, but I'm rumbling on now, so I'm going to shut up for a little while and just concentrate on getting this screen out. What I might do is just pause the video here, and I'm going to take this screen off and I'll start the video again when I'm ready to connect up. Alright, so I did the donor screen. It actually was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It came off a lot easier because I could use 2 hands. So I guess that's the trade-off of trying to record and be informative as best as I can with these versus speed and making it look proper. So I still can't see the heat shields. I'm just going to flip this thing upside down to make sure nothing, if this fallen off, it's not sat in the box. No. Okay, well I'm going to progress to move on then. And this is going to be a bit tricky. So putting the screen back on again, I'm going to actually put the screws in first, so then you can see what's going on. And I might not be as good on the, because the shots might not be as good as they can be. Oh, magnets, handy. Just get the first 2 screws in. But at this stage, I'm not really too fussed about what screws go where. I am fussed about where the screws go where. I'm just more concerned about getting everything screwed back in again. Alright. So once you've got 2 screws in, life is good. You can let go of the screen and be in a position where you think this is good. I can do what I need to do. So that one goes in next. I am literally just going to go up and down, put the 3 screws back in each side. It is a big positive though that you can now do things like this, because I think I read that the Surface Book 3s have issues with screens cracking because of the, especially on the non-Alcantara ones. Right, so something tells me that's not as good as it could be, but that is what it will be. So there's your hair in there as well. What's that? Let's not price him up. So we're going to connect the connectors back up again. Now what I found on the other one was the connectors were glued slightly as they went in. And on the smashed one they weren't. Maybe that's like an enhancement they've done since. You just pop the connectors back in again. I'm not really zooming in on this. I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing. The key thing here though is you have to then tuck the ribbons back under the antenna bar. So with your plastic, just give them a little nudge and pop them back under, and then the connector should go nice and flat. It'll probably make a bit more sense to try and do those pre-install, but once they're in, they go down now nicely because they're in their inlet grooves. And you can just give it a second or just a pat test to make sure it's all good. Not as an electric pat test, just to make sure that it looks like it's going in the right direction. And they're all back in again. Right, so next job, the heat shield things, the protective things back in again. So I'm going to use one from, I think they're both the same. So they both came out fine. Yes, they are literally the same. And I've got one over here as well. Are they the same thing? Because it can't be, can they? Well, I've got 3, so 3 are the same, and that stands to reason that the 4 are the same then. Shoot, let me drop in stuff. So I know that one's definitely different. So these two, that one there's got 2 indents in it, that one goes there. So let's see if I can do. So I'm gonna, if I stop the video, we also notice on these they've got like a little smoothed edge to push the ribbon in as well, which is good. So I'm in, and I'll come straight back out again just to double check my logic there, because you know, line those up there. Yes. That's fine, so you've got to get it over the back again. Come on, you can do it up and again. Oh, okay, I'm not properly lined up anywhere. Oh, some encouraging noises. Maybe you hear things go click. It's always a good thing. And then there's this second one. Well, I can see a strip. I can see the strip that I was worried about is here. So then you will go along the top. Or do you stick on the top? I think we should have spent a bit more attention at school. So it's like it sits on top there. If you can check on here, just, yeah. So it kind of tucks in and becomes part of the heat shield, but you need that for the keyboard to rest on. So I'll make sure I've got it the right way around as well. Looks like outward groove facing the connectors. I was trying to do it the other way around. So outward groove to connectors. And then it's got the same sort of pin connection, so I'm hoping that it connects to something on the main on the main board and here. So it'll connect to that once this one goes in. If not, we'll take it back out and we'll do it again. Same again, lovely little connectors. You know this is a different one because of the flat bits are in a different location. Back out again. Don't seem to be getting any traction on it hooking to anything, so just pin these bits back down again, the ones that I pried up. So they're in a good position. This video is going on for another half-hour one. I was kind of hoping this would be a quick plonk, and away we go. I should know better. Yeah, that literally did just go straight on and sat comfortably. So this one is the keyboard that came with this. I don't know if you can notice with the light, but you'll see that there's quite a lot of glass that's come off of the screen. So I'm going to do my best to get rid of that before I connect to this keyboard. And what I found with any of the Surface devices, when you're changing the glasses, this is especially more relevant to the 4 and above. Surface Pro 4s, 5s, and Surface Books. The glass is really forgiving on your hands, and you'll get yourself a false sense of security, thinking, well, it's not that bad. And then one day it will give you a cut that is so painful and will do your head in for days. That makes you think, I better wear gloves from that one. I think I'm rambling away to myself again. So all I'm doing on this is just taking a tissue, giving the screen a little bit of a shake and just making sure that there's no more glass. Now ideally this will go, I'll have a storage upgrade, and then if I like it, it will swap the machine that I've got now, because it's been a great machine, but I'm really short on space. And if it doesn't, it'll get sold to fund future little projects that I enjoy doing. Now these look wicked. I don't know if you can hear, but it's metallic. Magnetic, not metallic. So you square it up, the magnet's holding in place, and it clips down. At this stage I'm feeling this is all a little bit too easy, so I don't know if this screen works. I've not tested it. Wow. And the odd shard of glass still decides to show up. I find if you just scrape it down them, you can get them off. I think what I'll do after this video is just put one of those cloths on there and perhaps maybe run a small hoover to get the little fragments off. But here's a live test. Power on. We have a screen. We have a full screen, no dead pixels. And hopefully the keyboard works as well. So it's more than likely going to go into the automated setup. And if you notice, you'll listen to Cortana's voice. She sounds a bit different. I don't know if that's an upgrade to stop herself from becoming irrelevant. Cheers. Here she comes.
Hi there, I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help. A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do.
Wow, she's basic.
Use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon towards the bottom of your screen.
So
if you need an assistive screen reader, press the Windows, Control, and Enter keys at the same time to turn on narrator.
Right, so
okay, enough intro. Let's dig in.
So she's becoming annoying. So all you do.
Your region is set to the United Kingdom. Is that right?
And that just confirms we've got touch as well. And that concludes this video. So the only part that I am thinking about doing is swapping the keyboard over for this one. There seems to be a very slight shade diff now, because I've been colourblind. It might just be me being silly. No, I'm going to leave this keyboard on, and at least all of the components are part of the screen now, or its original components. I'll hoover up the glass. The only thing left for me to do is just test that it shuts. And as I was doing that, I don't know if you heard that sounds like that was the, I'm going to say, the magnets engaging in at the bottom part. So let's go back to our other part of the screwdriver. What? Oh god, 2244, 2944. Those of you that have carried on watching, thank you. Apologies for the little interruption in the middle. My wife popped in to say hello and sneezed everywhere. So that screw just decided to go round on its own. So it just needs a little bit of a massage. Just hold from the keyboard and just spin the screw. Come on, what you get? I didn't really want to do this next bit, but I'm so happy the screen works that I just want to install some stuff on it and then just wait until I run out of disk space. I will, of course, do. I think there's plenty of videos on the upgrade to the storage. And I hope that those of you that have done it have enjoyed the experience from other YouTubers. If this video has been helpful for you to fix your screen or give you the confidence to go out and try and get one, then great. Just some pointers that I did. I hunt around on eBay just looking for broken surfaces, and then you occasionally get lucky, and in this case I picked this one up, the broken one that didn't boot up for, I don't even want to do the number, it's stupid numbers. It was a bit more than I wanted to pay, but that's only because I kind of thought that so I probably need to put, I'm just thinking, do I need to put a blob of glue on this? Probably do need to put a blob of glue on this, but because I'm going to take them back up again and I've got the spares off the other one, I'm going to leave it at that. Give it a shake. Nothing's come off. Nothing comes off. And just make sure it still boots. So that is the video on how to swap your screen on a Surface Laptop 3. Good luck with anyone that tries it. If you like this video or it was helpful for you, feel free to put some comments in or like and subscribe so I can do more of these. I'm trying to get my subscription base up a little bit more. It says you need 1,000 to actually start throwing ads on here, and I've got a long way to go, so any help that you can provide to me will be very, very, very much gratefully received. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure doing this video for you. Wait for this thing to turn down. And if you're lucky enough to pick one of these things up too, they just look like an absolute delight.
Hi there, I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
It's a great time to go, so I'm going to stop the video now.
A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and